Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and happy Tuesday. DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk Studios this morning. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it, whether you are tuning in on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Available to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com, WAYYradio.com. You got your app. You can download that, take it on the go. Smart devices, smart speakers like your Alexa devices. Got the video stream that's also up and rolling on YouTube, on Man Cave TV, and something new that we're going to be doing on the video stream. Going to do a little daily stumper, Dan's Daily Stumper. Got a trivia question. It'll be between 1 and 4 each day, and weekly winners will get some prizes and such. So you have to tune in to the video stream and see that trivia question and then answer in the comments. So that's the way to go about it. I'm not going to tell you what the question is on the air. I got to go to the video stream. So all right, what do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Brewers offense coming alive last night after being down 2-0 heading into the bottom of the second. No problem. Brewers put up 7 runs and never looked back. Ended up with 16 total runs, 18 total hits for the Brew Crew. It was like Oprah was saying, you get a hit, you get a hit, you get a hit. Every starter besides Jake Bauers got a hit. However, Jake Bauers walked 4 times last night. So he was on base multiple times. In fact, let me just kind of double check here. Okay. No, I was like, did everybody get on by walk? No. But there was, they had, the Giants issued 11 walks last night. So Frelick, couple hits, couple doubles for him. Bottom of the lineup, coming through in this game. Frelick with a couple, Rengifo with a couple hits, David Hamilton with 3 hits, Yelich in that leadoff spot, 3 hits, Cheerio with a couple, Terang with a couple. Of all those runs too, no homers in typical Brewers fashion last night. Shane Drone went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Chad Patrick pitched an inning, but he gets credited with the win. D.L. Hall with a couple. Anderson and Woodford with an inning each as well. So with the win, the Brewers improved to 36-21, 15 games above 500. They'll be back at it tonight, game 2 of this 4-game series. We get Kyle Harrison on the mound. What's in store for another start for Kyle Harrison? Trevor McDonald on the other side for the Giants. McDonald's appeared in 5 games so far, and he is 2-2, but he's coming off of an appearance against the Diamondbacks. Didn't get charged with a loss, but he went 6 1/3 and just gave up 2 earned runs in that game. So first pitch again tonight, 6:40. You can tune into pregame coverage on your radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, at about 6:05. So plenty of Brewers chat, plenty of baseball chats coming your way this morning. So we're going to talk a little football here this morning. We got another OTAs week for the Pack. Going to get some media. I was trying to think of the word media. Media is going to be able to witness practice today and such. So I guess we'll see if Josh Jacobs is there or not. But we'll get a little Packers stuff out there. But a massive trade yesterday. It was kind of a busy day in the NFL with June 1st. Myles Garrett getting traded to the Rams. So the Rams taking a page out of their book from a few years ago where they were just acquiring everybody and just pushing all their chips in the table, saying, we're going for it again this year. Aging quarterback with Matthew Stafford, they're going for it again. So after, the offseason where they acquired, a McDuffie from the Chiefs for a first-round pick, and now they've traded off another first-round pick and a couple other picks and Jared Verse for Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett moving to the NFC. Shocker. That, wow. Wow. A.J. Brown, the worst kept secret in the world, getting traded to the Patriots as well. Odell Beckham Jr. is back with the Giants, so kind of a busy day yesterday. So there is a little bit of a kind of sort of Packers rumor out there. Josh Sweat, somebody that we've mentioned quite a bit in the offseason. But could that be a potential option for the Packers to reunite with Jonathan Gannon? Not only because he was with the Cardinals this past year, but he also spent some time with him in Philadelphia. So that seemed to be a Twitter rumor, social media rumor that has been floating out there now for what it's worth. Matt Schneidman said, nope, no conversations and such. And I know there's been a little bit of back and forth on social media saying, well, that's what they said about Micah Parsons too. So, but that is out there. So I guess with the trade of Myles Garrett going to the NFC, going to the Rams, does it make it a little bit more important for Green Bay to maybe go out there and have a counter move, even though they're not in that same division, but it's the same conference, right? So I don't know. What do you think, Packers fans? Do you think Green Bay almost has to do a kind of a counter move, considering what maybe the Rams have done all off season and such, or do you think they're still in good shape and just kind of stand pat in that? But we'll talk some football here this morning and get your thoughts on all that. What else do we have on the docket? We're going to catch up with RJ Cardinal coming up at about 8:20 this morning. So we'll talk some Badgers with Mr. Cardinal here this morning with the new football GM coming over to Wisconsin and that. So we'll talk all things Badgers with Mr. RJ Cardinal. It is a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what is grinding your gears? You can get off your chest, make it appropriate. Text it on over to that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line or the Section 105 chat room. And we'll throw it up on the air and such. We'll continue our 250 countdown, the 250 sports moments with America turning 250. We're going to take a look at some of the athletes today. We're doing 10 each weekday leading up. It'll conclude on July 3rd, the day before July 4th. So yesterday, we talked a little bit about some of the leagues and such. That is available on the Man Cave podcast if you missed it. But today we'll kind of take a look at 10 athletes, and there's going to be a lot more athletes. All right, these aren't just the top 10 most important. This is like the first 10. So that's coming your way a little bit later on. I want your I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying blank, but I'm just saying blank. Best ones I'll read up on the air. We've got sports confessions. What's a sports confession that you need to get off your chest and such? And then finally, new daily segments called Built in the Man Cave. We'll kind of tell you what that's about when we get to that a little bit later. We'll probably do that in the next hour, maybe right. Let's shoot for that about 8:00 this morning. Built in the Man Cave. So. As you can tell, we have a loaded up game plan. So, should we just get to things here this morning? We got Brewers to talk about. Oh, Express. Got to throw this out there, too. Express. If you were went to the Express game last night, you were treated to an epic finish, a walk-off grand slam by the Express. So, shout out to the Express last night, picking up the win. Quick road trip to Madison taking on the Mallards tonight, and then they'll be back home, taking on the Mallards tomorrow, and then they'll be on the road for the next 6 games. UW-Milwaukee baseball falling short to Auburn last night, too, 8-3, just 1 game short of the Super Regionals. So that's kind of where their good run, their magical run, Cinderella run over with. But another fantastic season for UW-Milwaukee baseball. Best of luck to all the prep sports that are going to be in action today, softball, baseball, tennis. I mean, there's a lot, as Justice previewed yesterday. So best of luck to a lot of our local athletes and teams that are still in action this morning. So, all right, let's get things going here this morning, shall we? Let's open it up talking some baseball. The Brewers offense putting up a big old crooked number last night to get game 1 of this 4-game series. We'll hit that up. We'll talk a little football, all that good stuff in the first hour. So we'll take our first break, and we'll be back after these quick words. Don't forget to tune in to the video stream if you want to partake in our new daily stumper question out there. It could be between 1 to 4 questions. They'll be updated throughout the program, and we're going to have a new trivia question up there every day. And it gets your chance to add up some points, accumulate some points, and then we're going to give away some prizes and such. So that'll be only on the video stream, all right? Only on the video stream, so you got to look at it over there. I'm not going to tell you what the question is right now. You got to go to the video stream. Just look us up on YouTube, all right? So let's get things going here this morning. Let's talk a little baseball. Let's give the Brewers the honors here this morning. Brew Crew picking up, dominating win last night, 16-2 after falling early 2-0. By the way, how many of you thought Jackson Churio caught that if you were watching it? Robbed that home run. Man, it looked like, I think everybody kind of thought maybe he caught that, even Matt Chapman and such. But Brewers drop it or falling early 2-0, heading into the bottom of the second. No problem with this offense, right? Putting up 7 runs in the bottom of the second to completely take control of that game and never looking back, adding 4 more in the 8th to really put it away there. But a 16-2 victory that saw the offense collecting 18 total hits on 16 runs, even getting 11 walks, only striking out was it 5 times? 6 times. 6 times. Only striking out 6 times in the game last night. And Yelich, actually, and Bowers collecting 2 apiece. But impressive game last night by the offense. Good to see the bottom of the order of Frelick and Rengifo and Hamilton. Between the 3 of them collecting 7 of those hits. 3 from Hamilton, 2 from Rengifo, 2 from Frelick. Frelick collecting a couple of doubles yesterday, too. So good to see those guys getting in on the action at the bottom of the order. Bowers didn't collect a hit, but he walked 4 times in the game last night. But Drowan goes 4 innings, giving up 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 4 hits. Chad Patrick comes in for an inning and collects the win, going 3-2 on the season. So a little bit of that bullpen starts with DL Hall going 2 innings, Anderson, and then Woodford going an inning apiece. So, I mean, it's one of those games that you kind of just, all right, yeah, a lot of runs and kind of move on and such. So, but I think, yesterday, Frelick, finally, it's only 1 game, so I don't want to say, it's the summer sale. The summer sale is back. But Pat Murphy yesterday talking a little bit about Frelick after the game, saying that Pat Murphy talked about Frelick and said that Frelick and Yelly took as many swings today as any humans could possibly do before the game. They worked early and worked often. So Frelick knows, too, that he's got to get the game back up and he's got to get the offensive game going and such. So hopefully this is something that you can kind of stack success and build upon that as well. And, even Bryce Terang kind of maybe getting a little bit out of his slump with his performance last night too. Bryce Terang collecting a couple hits, walking a couple times, couple of RBIs, because in his last 21 at-bats, Bryce Terang's just hitting a .095. Last 15 games, just 196. So he's been in a little bit of a slump from an offensive standpoint. So maybe kind of hitting his way out of it last night with his performance and such. So just overall a solid offensive performance from the crew last night. When you put up 16 runs, 18 hits, 11 walks, no home runs. If that doesn't define the 2026 Brewers offense perfectly, I don't know what does. I don't. That sums up the Brewers. If aliens came down and said, so-and-so, you need to tell us what the Brewers offense is like. Well, you just give them that stat line, and that should cover it. They can score a lot of runs. They can walk. They can get on base. They can play some small ball, but they're not going to hit a ton of home runs. That's the Brewers offense in a nutshell. How about let's give some props to Andrew Vaughn here. So Andrew Vaughn had a couple of hits again last night. And when we look at Andrew Vaughn here, what has he done for the Brew Crew lately? It's 3 games in a row now where he's collected at least 2 hits. 2 hits in his last 3 games. And Andrew Vaughn this season, while maybe he hasn't displayed a ton of power, he's just got 1 home run. But in his 65 at-bats so far this season, Andrew Vaughn is hitting a solid .354 with a .425 on base and a .933 OPS. In his last 7 games, he is hitting .455 with an on base of a .455 and slugging at .591. He's had multiple hits in 8 of his 17 games that he has started. Andrew Vaughn played opening day, then he got hurt, but since he has come back, Andrew Vaughn has been a nice, consistent presence in the middle of that lineup. Batting like in that 5, 6, maybe a couple times in the 4 spot, cleanup, but Andrew Vaughn has been, ever since he has been back from that fractured hamate, he has been a nice, consistent presence at the plate. Sure, maybe you want a little bit more power from him in that, but he is becoming, or right now as of late, he is a guy, when he steps up to that plate, he's a threat to get on. And you just got to tip your cap to him for how well he has been playing here as of late. Big reason, too, why the Brewers are playing some of the best baseball in Major League Baseball. Best record in the month of May. Number 1 was the Brewers, 19-7. I know we're past May now, but hey, they began June with a W. So, we've got game 2 tonight, and we get Kyle Harrison on the mound. Kyle Harrison, another one of the nice surprises, another one of these guys that has been performing amazing as of late, and he's one of those pitchers in the National League that is just having, he's in that group with Misrowski and Sanchez and such that had an epic month of May. Now it's like, okay, first start in June. You set the bar high in May, kid. So what do you have in store for us this month? But just a quick recap of what Kyle Harrison did in the month of May in 5 games. In the 5 games that he started, he went 4-0 with a .96 ERA, 31 strikeouts, just 6 walks. One home run given up, 3 earned runs total. 2 of them came in the game against the Yankees back on the 9th. So, new month, but can Kyle Harrison continue to do what he has been doing from the pitching mound? I'm excited to see how he can continue to improve, continue to stack that success, continue to get better and better and better. I'm excited to see what he's got in store for tonight. Now, there is a little bit of experience with some of the hitters from the Giants going up against Kyle Harrison, but not really a ton here to really write home about. But, Kyle Harrison probably also wants to, go up against his former team and kind of, say, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't have dealt me. He may downplay it. And a lot of these athletes are going to downplay it, going up against former teams but I mean, come on, we're all human, right? We all have a lot of the same feelings. Not everybody, but we all have a lot of the same feelings. If I was Kyle Harrison, I'd be a little bit more in tune, maybe a little bit more pumped up to showcase my stuff, especially if I'm playing at a high level and I'm playing really well and I'm throwing the ball really well and I'm going up against my former team, the team that traded me last year to Boston and that. Yeah, I want to showcase what they're missing, and I want to prove to them what they're missing. He's a California kid going up against the team. He's probably thinking Giants. I'm a California kid in that. All right, let's go. Come on. And no. So yeah, there is going to be there's going to be a little bit more amped up feelings from him, I would imagine. Now, how can you? I think the biggest thing is, can you harness that? Can you control that? Do you not let that overtake what you've been doing lately out on the mound? Go do your thing. Go do your ball game. Go do your game. Throw like you've been throwing. Don't let that extra enthusiasm or that extra motivation overtake what you've been doing really well as of late. But yeah, there's going to be a little bit of, I want to prove them wrong. I want to really go out there and maybe pitch one of my best games. All right, yeah, that'll be motivation, but don't let it overtake. Don't let those emotions overtake your solid play here. First pitch, 6:40. You can listen to it on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Coverage will begin at about 6:05 this morning. So, speaking of baseball again, the Express picking up a walk-off win last night thanks to a walk-off grand slam. So the Express are going to be on the road for a quick road trip down south to Madison tonight. Then they'll be back at Carson Park taking on Madison tomorrow. UW-Milwaukee baseball, their run ends one game shy of the Super Regionals. They fell to Auburn last night, 8-3. So, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll talk more baseball. We got football. Packers fans, your reaction to the Rams acquiring Myles Garrett and the potential rumor about Josh Sweat coming over to Green Bay. Would you be willing to maybe throw a third-round pick for the guys? Second-round pick. How high would you go? How high would you go? All right. Send them on over. Hit me up with a text or a comment on the video stream. We'll take a quick break. Back with plenty more coming up after these few words. Things dense or something more serious, don't stress about it. Just head to Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. From minor touch-ups to major collision repair, they are your go-to team for getting your vehicle back to looking like new. With experienced technicians and attention to every detail, Superior Auto Body takes pride in doing the job right the first time. So when life happens to your vehicle, trust the team that Eau Claire drivers rely on. That's Superior Auto Body, your go-to place for all of your auto body needs. Superior Auto Body, our official backyard dreams partners. So kind of a busy day yesterday in the NFL world. I mean, a massive trade Massive trade. Not often do we get moves like this. I mean, we got it with Green Bay last year, of course, and Micah Parsons. But Myles Garrett, a year after signing a new deal with the Cleveland Browns, he is now a member of the Rams. So he had a no-trade clause, but, I mean, come on, you get a chance to go to the Rams and that, yeah, you're going to do it and such. So, but the Rams sending a first-round pick, Jared Verse, and a second and a third over to the Browns in exchange for Myles Garrett. Now, it is clearly evident with some of the moves that the Rams have done this offseason. Trading picks. They're back to their, blank them picks sort of thing. But I think what the Rams are doing, and they kind of did it when they first acquired Matthew Stafford, right? And then they went out and they got Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're kind of doing it again. They drafted their quarterback of the future. We don't know how many more years Matthew Stafford's going to play, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't know. But what are they doing? They're like, okay, we're going to go for this. We're going to try to add more rings, championships, while we still have Stafford. So, yep, we're not going to be acquiring or we're not going to be drafting a lot, but we're going to get some proven talent right now. Honestly, I feel like that's what a lot of Packers fans wished Green Bay did in the latter years of maybe Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Now, Rodgers, they kind of did. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, they went in and out, but they didn't really trade picks to bring in people, right? So I think that there's probably some Packers fans yesterday saying, man, why couldn't they do that? That's what we wanted Green Bay to always kind of do over those years and such. So different philosophies. There's no doubt about it. But it also may come, as I was reading a little bit yesterday from people out there too, it may come at the risk of, all right, Rams may not be able to sign or at least not thinking about right now re-signing some of their younger guys like a Puka and such. It may have taken them out of the running for something like that. But when you have a Rams team that was in the NFC Championship game and they go out there and make the moves that they did in the offseason, we have a Green Bay team where that championship window is right now. Even though they're not in the same division, is it imperative for Green Bay, in your opinion, to maybe counter? How do you counter? What do you do to counter? That's the question. Is it Josh Sweat? That's a rumor that's out there. Could he be a trade target for the Pack? Reunites with Jonathan Gannon. Now, Josh is 29 years old. Paired up with Gannon with the Eagles and then with the Cardinals last year. Last year for the Cardinals, he had 12 sacks. I mean, a solid year in the sack department. And it's one of those, potential, pair him up with his former defensive coordinator, his head coach. And you kind of look at the Cardinals, too, and you're like, okay, maybe a little bit of a rebuilding mode. So Josh probably wants to be out of there. I would assume that. But this is where things kind of get a little tricky. It's his contract. Because this year he has a rounding up $16.4 million cap hit. Green Bay's got some extensions they also want to get done. So any move, it would have to be, how much does Green Bay want Arizona maybe to take on some of that cap hit, some of that money? How much is Green Bay going to be taking that on? And then you kind of look at 2027, that cap hit goes up to $23.6 million. But it's a rumor out there. It's something, you could call it a social media, you could call it a Twitter rumor and that. But how high? What would you be willing to go in terms of a trade package? Third round? Second round? They don't have a first round. Would you trade your second round pick in what is supposed to be a very deep 2027 NFL draft, especially quarterback heavy, so maybe it pushes a lot of guys back down in the draft? Third round, that's the highest you'll go. Fourth, fifth. Does Green Bay need Josh? Micah's going to miss the first few days. You got Lucas Van Ness. You got a couple of other younger guys in that mixture. What says you? What do you think? And this is a player that we've talked a little bit about in the offseason as a potential target maybe for Green Bay. And you look at his career, and he's been fairly healthy, which you would think that would fit a Green Bay priority. His rookie year in 2018, he played in 9 games, but since then, 16, 14, 16, 16, 17, 16, 17. He's been out there. He's had double-digit sacks last year. He's only had double-digit sacks twice in his career. Last year with the Cardinals, and in 2022 with Philadelphia, he had 11. He was a Pro Bowler the year prior, though, 2021 with Philadelphia. But the lowest amount of sacks he's had was 4, which was his second year, not counting his rookie year, which was 0. 4, 6, 7.5, 11, 6.5, 8, 12. He's he's a player too that I think can be a little position versatility. Obviously, Gannon knows how to use him, right? That's the key in this thing. If this is a legit target for Green Bay, Jonathan Gannon knows exactly how to use him within his defense. Now he's been listed as a defensive end. He's listed as an outside linebacker. You look at his size, and that makes sense. You're talking about a 6'5", 260, 265 pound individual. But the biggest thing here is that Jonathan Gannon knows exactly how to. He knows how to put him in a position to succeed, right? Not putting a square peg into a round hole. He knows how to make it work. So, but what's it going to cost? At what price? What's the highest you would go? Do you think Green Bay needs him? What do you think? Hit me up. I'm curious to get your responses. Okay. Do you think this is a priority? Do you think, and the other part in this whole thing is, do you think Green Bay needs to sort of counter what the Rams did? Let's face it, Green Bay's championship window is now. It is now. The Rams championship window, it is now. Look at the rest of the NFC. Chicago, Detroit, Seattle's your defending champs. I'm still throwing the 49ers in here too. There's this NFC, Philadelphia. It's at least on paper. We got a lot of offseason to go here yet before we actually get into games. But at least on paper, this is, I think, a fairly deep NFC. So does Green Bay need to counter after what the Rams did, even though they're not a division team? A lot of times we talk about this when it comes to division teams, right? It's like, oh, the Bears or the Lions or the Vikings did something, so yeah, we got to counter that. But when you got a championship goal, a Super Bowl goal, not a division championship goal, a Super Bowl goal, and you see another team within that conference make a big move like that, I don't know. Now, that's not always a great mindset for a general manager to necessarily have. Like, okay, they made a move, so we got to make a move. You kind of want to be level-headed and such, but I'll tell you what, as a fan, I'd be a little antsy. For sure. Talk about that defensive line. Depth, I think if you could get depth on that defensive line, that'd be a big bonus. All right, well, let's take a quick break as we start to wrap up the first hour. But let me know, what would be the price tag that you would send them? Don't just tell me yes. What would be the price tag for a 2027 draft pick? The highest you would go, knowing that the cap hit is a lot. what would it be? I'm going to put you on the spot as a general manager. Okay? Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap up the first hour after these quick words. Don't forget to sign up for the Casper Classic. Just head to our website at sportstalk1051.com and get your two-person team signed up today. And I'm going to tell you right now, 10 a.m. is sold out. I told you, 10 a.m. sold out as of right now. So you got 1 p.m. and you got 7:30 a.m. So big thanks to everybody who has signed up and such. I'll double check it, but I think I'm going to have to close the 10 a.m. I just looked at the numbers, so we're going to have to shut down that time. Maybe we'll have one open up a little bit later on, but don't count on it. So you still got the 1 p.m. tee time and the 7:30 a.m. the Surveyor flight, the Surveyor Sam flights, and that if you want to join Surveyor and his team out there. So again, get to you can go to WAYYradio.com, sportstalk1051.com, or 715store.com and sign up your two-person team for the Casper Classic coming up Friday, August 7th. And a big thanks to all of our partners. If you are interested in partnering and sponsoring a hole or donating a raffle prize, hey, reach out. That'd be awesome if you'd be able to help out, because all of the proceeds go to Backyard Dreams. So, all right, coming up next hour, we're going to continue our 250 countdown. We're going to take a look at 10 athletes. So we'll do that coming up next hour. We're going to talk some Badgers with Mr. Cardinal coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Talk about the new football GM. It is a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what's grinding your gears? Get it off your chest, okay? Send them on over. Text it 715-830-1912. All right, send those on over. So, and then, yeah, just have some fun on this Tuesday morning, right? But we got a couple texts to get to here with the Josh Sweat. Rando from Chippewa Falls says, Packett, Harrison Jr., and Sweat. Cards get Van Ness in 3rd and 5th round picks. If I was the Cardinals, Rando, I'd say no thank you. With no first round pick in there, I'd say no. Green Bay, I think, would love that. I think if Green Bay were to, if the Arizona Cardinals were to say yes to that, I think Green Bay would run to the table, pick and get that thing in. If I'm the Cardinals, I would shoot that one down right away. That's just my opinion. C-Bomb says Josh to Green Bay with Parsons reminds me of Sean Jones coming to help Reggie White. You want to double the man, the backside is going to eat you up. I would give up a first round in 2028 and a 4th round this year. I think the Rams have shown that you can survive without first round picks. The one thing that the Rams have done, I think, a really nice job over the years has been regrouping fairly quickly. Right, when they won their Super Bowl and they gave up a lot of picks and such, yeah, sure, they had a year or two that was down a little bit, but they regrouped nicely after that too. So, just a couple minutes left. Good morning, Morgs.
Hey, how's things, Casper?
Good. How are you?
Not too shabby. Speaking of your Tuesday tussle, do a little bit of hot take, fast action.
All right.
How do you think about this? Audiobooks count as reading, yes or no?
Yeah.
I struggle with that one.
For us who don't have a lot of time, yeah.
But
hey, if it's a really long book, I get intimidated, so I'll do the audio version.
You know, actually, we had one of the Sports Talk listeners chime in. I've heard this, though, about Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yeah.
I read the book, but I heard the audiobook is like way better, which is weird because now it's like you have audiobook, book, movie. And I thought the movie was actually a little better than the actual paper book, but somebody said the audiobook's pretty solid as well.
Okay.
So, book or movie, what do you think's usually better?
Usually the book.
I think so too. Except Project Hail Mary, I would argue the movie was
Just goes into more detail.
What do you think? Vacations are more stressful than relaxing?
Yes.
What was the last vacation you went on that felt like an actual vacation?
Well, what do you define vacation?
Like getting away.
Well, I don't know the last time I got away.
No?
No.
Okay, how about this? High school reunions are unnecessary.
I've never been to one, so I'll say...
Would you go?
Would I go?
So Mighty Medford calls up and says, we're having a reunion. What reunion would you be in?
Graduated in 04, so next one would be what, 25?
Would
30?
you go?
Probably not.
Why not?
I still talk to the people that I want to talk to.
That's what the theory is. Why would I see people that I don't go out of my way to see already? But are you curious what people are up to?
That's what Facebook's for.
Think about your class. If you're not going to sleuth on the internet, is there one kid in your class that you're curious about that you actually don't know what they're doing?
Oof. Well, I had 250 in my class, so...
Oh, see, that's...
No, probably not.
Okay.
No.
What about texting is better than calling?
No, come on. Did you really need to ask me that one?
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody that we work with yesterday, we were having a conversation. Somebody that we work with said, I just want you to pick up the phone and call me. I hate texting. I'm like, no, did you say that backwards? Because that's the wrong answer. Who prefers calling to texting? Texting's way easier.
I have a buddy by the name of Hetch. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're throwing him under the bus?
Hetch.
He's a caller.
He's a caller. Yeah.
Now, do you pick up when you see it because he's your buddy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Now, this is a good question for you because